Hello and welcome to the UFC. It's early. I'm still waking up. 286 preview show. I am DegenEli here with the best MMA handicapper on gambling Twitter, Richie1up, drinking his coffee. That's the only thing he has ingested this morning. Trust me. That's it. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, dude, I love doing this. This is awesome. We have oh, I just turned you all the way up and I did not mean to by accident. I think we're good now though. Exciting card tonight, really. We were talking a little bit before the show kicked off. It's not a huge card in terms of name recognition. I think they kind of really did that by design, probably with March Madness. Or sorry, I can't say that because of legal stuff. The NCAA tournament going on. I feel like they didn't want to waste a ton. Like they know they're going to be competing, and no matter what they do, probably numbers may be a little bit down. I think that's also why they did it in London, kind of earlier in the day, maybe. But I think there's a ton of value on this card, gambling wise. A ton of lines that I think me and you both like. Before we get into it, we haven't actually talked since UFC 285. Anything you want to, what do you think of John Jones, man?
I mean, he is who we thought he was. Is basically it. and I'm I don't know. I'm mad that I had a lot of fear. I had won a good amount of money on that damn card, and I'm mad at myself for holding back the way that I did.
You
Because
went
I mean, I
nuts on
wanted
that
to.
card.
Yeah,
You
that
went
was a
nuts.
crazy one for me. But I wanted to put more money on him. I was so scared, man. But I don't know what happened, man. I honestly think Game looked scared.
He
I think
was. He
it was
wasn't
just
ready, man.
fear.
He was
It
not
was like
ready.
straight fear in his eyes, and like he just crumbled. And I love how it went from like if you listen to the fight again and watch it over, and the the commentators, Rogan on, they're standing there. He's like, yeah, he's on top of him, and what he tapped.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
tapped.
It
They
was just
didn't
like
even
out of
see
nowhere. It's like
it. Yeah.
man, I don't know. He
Seriously.
didn't want to be there, and it's going to be interesting to see where he goes because he's got to fight down now. But yeah, exactly. John Jones is who he thought he was, but at the same time, all those questions we had about him going into heavyweight, I think we still have him. But I also don't think there's not a heavyweight on the UFC roster right now who's going to give him
It's
too
what
much trouble. I don't
Miocic
think.
next, right?
What's that?
It's who, Stipe is who they want next from,
Yeah,
right? In
yep.
December. Here's the thing,
No,
right?
it'll be
So
it's gonna
like,
be fight week, International Fight Week in
uh,
July.
all right, so you give him Stipe, he beats Stipe. Who's next? Like, it's it.
Yeah, Curtis
After that, it's like,
Curtis Blades is
oof.
everybody thinks that Curtis Blades is gonna give him the best fight in the division. I don't see it. Who's the English dude? Aspinall. I think Aspinall maybe in a year or two maybe can give him some
Aspinall says
trouble.
he's ready now to fight too. He says
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
back from knee surgery. I'm like,
yeah.
wow, that's fast.
I think he's got some growth to do before he gets in there with John Jones. But I think that's the guy that I look outside of obviously. I think if you're Dana White at this point, you have to make Francis Ngannou happen. You just have to you figure it out. Swallow your pride. Pay whatever you want. Pay whatever he wants. Like that's the only fight to me that matters.
It
You give
depends, man,
Aspinall
because
another
he's
year or
gonna go
two to
boxing,
develop.
man.
Yeah, he's gonna do. Yeah, he's definitely gonna. He said on MMA, or he's gonna do one boxing match and then jump into it.
I mean, once he tastes that boxing money, though, it's gonna be
Yeah,
hard
it's
to
gonna
fall
be
back.
tough. It's gonna be tough. So yeah, put your mortgage payment on John Jones to beat Stipe, I think, and feel great about it, and then we'll see what happens next. Before we jump into this card, I was talking to my dad this week because he used to be all in, watching UFC, like wanted to watch every single fight. And as I've been getting more back into it recently, I've been trying to keep him up to date and get him back involved. And he told me this week, he's like, I just can't get into the fights, man. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Do you think UFC has a problem like with casual fans being able to keep up and stay into the sport? I think me and you definitely appreciate the product, right? The product has been outstanding recently, but the name recognition I think is way down. You used to have the Michael Bisping and Conor McGregor, even just not even that much, not even that long ago. Do you think UFC has a problem kind of retaining casual fans? And if so, what can they do about it? And why might they have that problem?
Yeah, it's hard, man, because I think a lot of the big fans that like stuck around like you and I maybe from the start because we grew up with it when it was like very far and few in between events and fights, and now it's kind of a little bit saturated. We get whenever we meet, people like me aren't going to complain. I'll take UFC every week, inject it into my veins. I can't wait till we get the Contender Series, which is on Tuesday. So then you have Dana White's Contender Series back Tuesday, and then UFC on Saturday. But it's tough. I'm guessing you have a lot of the new market that's like they. I think they're having trouble gaining new viewers.
Yeah.
Is the thing. So they're probably like having a hard time with that just because there's not the star power that we used to. Like you mentioned, like a McGregor's, and we had to bring back John Jones and everything. And I'm sure they're having a hard time. I don't know who else can you name right now that's really stands out as far as like a big name that's like beyond entertaining that you really, really want to look forward to see. It's like really tough. Like even now, I'm like thinking,
I mean, Izzy, I think what was that, and I think that kind of sucked for the UFC, him getting dropped like that. I think Usman to some extent, but those are two guys.
See, I worry that Usman. I think Usman, like, man, if he loses today,
he's in trouble. He might retire.
Shocked.
Yeah,
he might retire, man.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, Usman's like knocking on the door, but at the same time, he's put in that work. He's got so many fights, so it's justified too.
He's earned it for sure. And then I think also, but those two guys coming up were two guys that are super exciting to watch, right? But then they get those belts, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think. They get the belts and they turn into point fighters a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see, if that changes. And I think that's a great segue to the main event of this card. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards 3. Usman obviously dominated the first fight. Lost the first round of the second fight. Was dominating 2, 3, 4, and really the first minute or two of that fifth round. Took that boom headshot dead, and got knocked out for the first time. Really in that manner. I'm a big Usman guy. I know you either love or you hate Usman. Basically, with he does sound very gimmicky and corny. But I love him. I can't wait for this fight. Can't wait to see him get his belt back. I think. Why do you see this fight going?
Man, so first of all, yeah, I really love Usman, and honestly, him getting knocked out makes me like him even more, man. Because it just before he almost seemed like I don't know, like otherworldly, the way that he was just able to just grapple opponents and have his way. And I didn't think Edwards had much of a chance. And
nobody did.
And I hope if McAfee is watching, man, I hope he hops on too, because the one thing I really remember from the last time is that was the first time we had done in the Discord the live chat, and my stream was like literally like 10 seconds, 15 seconds behind, and so I had McAfee on there. And he was narrating it like you would think he was like right there. And he was like, Usman just got knocked out. I'm like, stop playing with me. Don't joke around like that. And he's like, dude, he's like staring into another dimension. And then boom, I watched it live. So I hope he's on again. But man, so the last fight, yeah. So Usman had I think he had like over 10 minutes of control time. He was literally having his way with Edwards. I don't even know if Edwards had won a round at that point. I think it was
the second fight.
The last one,
yeah. So Leon definitely won round one. He got a takedown. He got a takedown. He controlled the back, and everybody was shocked
for a while, right?
Yeah. So Leon had round one, I think, on all the scorecards. But then it was just, I mean, round 5, 10 seconds before the knockout. DC and everybody's talking about how Leon looks defeated already. They were talking about how they were writing his obituary already. I robbed the CBS. That's hilarious because I wrote in chat. His name is I robbed the CBS. He was one of like the OG members in my DegenEli Discord. I remember that name forever. Said Leon won the last fight and still looked a little nervous in the press conference. I don't know about that. I think throughout this whole process, Leon has looked super confident. He looks jacked.
In this one or in the second fight?
For this fight, the press conference of this fight, because he said Leon won the last fight.
Yeah, you're saying a lot of points I was going to say too, but keep going because I like it.
Oh, Grumpy Old Man 1971 in chat also. That actually is my dad. He said he used to be the same way as you. When we were talking about the casual fan thing. My dad's saying that the main cards are too late at night because he's old and he can't stay awake long enough. He thinks that's the main issue, and I think that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, it is a true problem. But yeah, what the hell were we talking about?
So we were talking about like Usman a little bit and like the confidence, and we were talking about like Edwards. And so what you were saying that I was like, I love what you're saying because I was heading that way. Is that I think in the second fight, Edwards was still kind of like questioning himself, like, can I do this? Can I beat this guy? He looked defeated. And that's where I like that little montage where they did, where he has probably the best corner, I think, in all of UFC.
Yes.
And they
Yes.
hyped him up. And but Edwards, to the point where I think you were headed with this, is Edwards in this fight is a whole new monster. That's what scares me, right? So I'll say I'm leaning Usman, of course, but Edwards right now, this fight, like he has all the confidence. Even Usman said, "I think you're drunk." The way that Edwards, if you look at do you see the face off?
I did not.
All right, so you got to watch. If you get a chance, watch the face-off videos. They're in each other's face, and Edwards is just talking shit. And Usman is like, "Oh, I think you're drunk this time. Like you got a lot more confidence, don't you?" But then you see Usman; he has his beard shaved down, and you can literally see his jaw clenching, like he looks like an angry, just pit bull ready to attack. So it's like you have now an Usman who loves like being in the limelight, and I think he needs that belt. He likes that attention. And then now you have a real confident Edwards, who's the champ. And that's something that you mentioned too, is he is jacked. He looks amazing.
He is jacked, but somehow
no problem to make weight.
Somehow, so I weigh like 140 pounds. Somehow, mine and his waist are the same size. I don't understand. If you like next time when you see him night, take note of that. Like he is jacked. He looks like in the best shape he has ever been in, and somehow he still looks like he wears like a size 26 waist pants. I don't understand. Like I don't understand the physics of him.
I mean, I weigh 215 and I'm in shape, dude. And I look at some of these guys that are like 140, and I'm like, how do you weigh 140 looking like that? Like I don't get it. I'm like,
well, they weigh 140 on weigh-ins and come back on fight night at 155 or something. But
did you see Fiziev's weigh-in?
No, I didn't.
Dude, he looks like just a complete mutant, dude. He's just huge.
Yeah.
He's so big.
We're going to get to that fight here in a second. iBoogie says Leon won round one and he kind of gassed out. Yeah, it's true. And then he also said he's back and forth on whether fighting elevation in Utah affected Leon. He's never looked that tired in a fight. I can see that.
And that's where, to be fair too, that's what Usman trains in.
Yeah.
So they said that was a huge advantage the last fight. It's just something. It's a speculation. You know, it's obviously nothing that could be measured and like be accurate or not. But I mean, I like it. But they said, yeah, the Edwards wasn't used to elevation, kind of like when you were playing Denver.
Yeah. I don't. There's been a lot. There's been a lot on that elevation narrative. I think. To me, it's a wash. They're either neither one of them are going to be fighting elevation this time. I think
you ever wrestle?
I did.
Wrestle like school?
6th grade, 75-pound weight class. Never won a match.
It's 3 minutes, man. Like this 3 rounds of 3 minutes, and those are like the longest 3 minutes of your life. So I think he just got held down.
Yeah.
He had Usman had 10 minutes of control, man. You know what that is on your back to kind of like be fighting a 200-pound man off you, trying to get him off. So that's why I'm like, he got wrestled a lot. So he was justifiably tired.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this fight, man. I really am. Also, Dad, if you're still here, Grumpy Old Man 1971. This is an early start card. Main card I think starts at 5, something like that. So the main event's right probably at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at the latest. So this is a good one. Let me ask you about this. Let's start
6:15. So it's projected for 6:15.
Right on. They're usually pretty on the money there. So we were talking a little bit about this too. I didn't even know DraftKings offered these lines with the the money line by a method only. I don't even know how to call
money
it.
Money line finish only.
Yeah. So I'm looking at. I think Usman's gonna win this fight. I think he's gonna win by decision. But I don't know that there's a ton of value in -2. Yeah. I think I still do like it at -250. I think I like Kamaru Usman putting my mortgage payment potentially on -250.
Yeah,
but
it's still a good line.
But let me ask you about playing Leon Edwards on the knockout only money line for +120, almost like a hedge. You know what I mean? Because if you play the KO only money line, that voids if it goes to a decision. I don't think there's any world where Leon Edwards wins this fight by decision. I also don't know. Is there a possibility Usman comes out just pissed off and wants to get that guy out of there early? Absolutely. I could see that happening. But the last, 5 fights we've seen out of him, like I said, he's been more of a point fighter. So I think he's going to his path to victory to me is by decision. So I think if you want to eat the juice on just Usman money line, you could almost come back with a hedge or play it straight as well with Leon Edwards, the KO only a money line that would void if Usman wins. And and then if Usman gets caught again, you cash your bet and you're off and running. How are you betting this?
There's a couple things I'm looking at. So I think the only way that Edwards win is by finish, just like last time. I don't think he's going to be able to outpoint unless somehow you can keep Usman at a distance, because Edwards to me is the better striker. Usman is the more powerful striker. So I think if Edwards could obviously keep him away at a distance, that's where he's at. But I just don't see him being able to stop, his wrestling. Usman is just beyond elite at wrestling.
Yep.
So there's two ways that I'm looking at this. And because you mentioned DK, that's the only thing I use for UFC is DK. They offer just the most versatility. Like, I don't think FanDuel still lets you do same games. So that's where I'm going. So DK right now, you can do a same game. Literally, you could just take, he's minus 250 now, but if you take Usman and just take over 2.5 rounds.
No way, dude. I literally I tweeted that. I tweeted that same exact ticket out earlier this week. That's what I was gonna say. My first official bet on. I got it at 135. Looks like it's dropped a little bit, but that's exactly what I'm on. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to kick it up, you can do 3.5 and it's minus 125. Obviously, if you go the full match, it's minus 115. So I mean, at that point, then you might as well just do decision if you think it's going to go over 4.5.
Yeah, and also back to the KO only moneyline bet. That's still a great hedge for that, right? Because also if the fight doesn't go over 2.5 rounds, most likely I think it's because Leon caught him again. So yeah, the only concerns there for me, like I said, I would have taken Usman, every fight forever. I think he's better everywhere except for, I guess, on the feet maybe.
It's just like Leon has like the kickboxing and all of that, so that's like where he has the advantage. Yeah. Some other cool things just to like have anybody listening that you could think of. I put, even if it's $5 on it, you could do the draw. Split decision. Those are the two. So right now, if we go to the draws plus 5,000, it's a 5-round fight. Every single 5-round fight, I put some money on a draw. Every single one. It's just me. It's just something that's there. You figure somebody loses a point or something. It's really easy it can happen easily. So what's $5 on 5,000? 255. I mean, it's Starbucks money basically.
And then you can also get Usman by majority or split decision for plus 550.
Leon Edwards split plus 2,000.
Yeah.
So those are ones that I look at these 5-round fights. And then DK has a lot of like really fun alternative methods of victory. Like they have one, it's like Leon Edwards by KO or Usman by decision. That's minus 250. So, kind of we thought the two that stood out the most for each. I mean, if you wanted to use that in a parlay, so you have a lot of options, honestly. And I like that, to be honest, these lines are fair.
Yeah, no, I think this fight is definitely accurately priced all the way around. I think the best way to attack it is the way me and you are both on it, is lean the over rounds, lean Usman money line. I think I am definitely going to also put in that KO only money line, maybe as a hedge, or I might just play it straight, honestly, because there's a world where you make money on that, even if we lose the Usman parlay there, and then if Usman wins by decision, it just voids and we get our money back anyway. So I think I am going to come back with that. So it sounds like both of us are officially probably on the Usman money line over 2.5 rounds. I said I'm definitely coming back with Leon KO only money line at plus 150.
And then the other thing, just to think about, is like Leon is practically like kind of like in front of a home crowd too, so he's got that going for himself right now. So that's gonna be a fun match. It's gonna be tense.
That's two. I boogie in chat. Leon KO only. Leon KO is plus 500 on FanDuel. Yes, that's not a bad play either. I don't think. I would want a little bit more, I think, but the difference there and versus what I'm taking is if you take the KO only money line, that voids if it goes to a decision. So I think that's where the value is, especially if you like Usman in the fight. All right, we spent a lot of time on that one.
Leon, go ahead. I was gonna say, if you're liking Leon though too, and you're thinking KO, the KO decision for Leon is still great odds, plus 225, right? I don't think he submits to Usman.
No.
So, and I mean, Jesus, what would his submission line be? 1,400. That's hilarious. But yeah, 225 plus 225. If you think Leon can knock him out or decision, if you want a little more safety. Odds.
iBoogie also talking about rounds 2 through 4. Leon KO. That would be another one.
Leon KO round 5 last fight, I think it was like plus 2,500, plus 2,800 around
Bananas.
there. And I
And
remember
like,
somebody, I think McAfee was one that like pointed again. Somebody had like just randomly pointed that out, and I'm like, I mean, fifth round. I mean, knocked him out with like a minute left. I couldn't believe it.
yeah. All right. Anything else before we move on to potentially a fight of the year candidate here?
No, that's about it, man. And if anybody else comes up with any questions in the chat later on, let me know. Happy to answer them. But I think we're good right now.
Yeah, this next fight is it. I mean, it should just be wild, man. We've got Justin Gaethje, the highlight. I don't even know where he puts that name, but he's been in the UFC 3 years, and I think he's won, or maybe more than that. He's won 3 Fight of the Year awards, which is just bananas, man. Fan favorite. I've never, for whatever reason, I've never been as high on him from like the fan love side of things. I think maybe because I'm a big Dustin Poirier guy. But he's taking on Rafael Fiziev, a guy who a lot of people are liking to, eventually fight for a title at least. Kind of next level Muay Thai background. Very, very good fighter. And like a minus 200 favorite, and you can get Justin Gaethje for plus 200 right now. I'm gonna let you jump in here because I know you probably have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah. So Gaethje, he was somebody kind of like I'm on where you're at with it. He won me over basically by his like violent brawling style and how he's won fights, and like he's won lots of fights to me that just like blew me away. Just how he was able to pick people apart, and he packs a lot of punch. Like, he looks like one of these guys like must have been like raised on a farm or something where he just has that like dense muscle because he's small. And if you look at their weigh-ins, he looked like he had a rough weight cut right there at the very end. I mean, he's already light skinned, but he looked like pale. He didn't look happy at all on the scale. Whereas you look at Fiziev, and that man is just just boulders. But so yeah, Fiziev right now, he's on a 6-fight win streak. And like right now, I think Fiziev is probably like one of the best strikers in all of UFC and packs a lot of power. So this one, I'm torn on. I'm leaning towards the Fiziev side. Gaethje, he's had trouble. I think, in my opinion, some of the most trouble with very good strikers.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, him and Oliveira he dropped Oliveira, but Oliveira also like put him on his butt too. Popped him. And Oliveira is not a powerhouse puncher.
No, but he's one of the most prolific finishers, potentially the most prolific finisher in UFC history, though. So I give him that's the one concern coming in for me was Gaethje's chin. Yep. I'm leaning Fiziev as well, but just because he took that shot. But I think you got to give him some grace on that just because he was fighting Charles Oliveira. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just how he got knocked down. Like, I just watched it like film on it, and it was just like a weird like hook/jab that just popped
and it caught him.
It just caught him, and it wasn't even like a hard punch. And my point with that is that if you have an Oliveira who wasn't throwing like just bombs, he's just throwing nice, accurate just punches, and that knocked you down. Now you have Fiziev. This guy's like, I mean, like I said, he's just looks like a Viking, man.
He literally does,
hard, and he gets late finishes. Like if you look at some of his fights, Fiziev gets some late finishes. He's still. Let me look at. I want to see. What rounds did he win?
Yeah, so he beat RDA, a 5th round knockout. He beat Brad Riddell, 3rd round knockout. He does have a 1st round knockout against Renato Moicano, and then a 1st round loss by knockout versus Magomed Mustafaev. Thank you. In his first fight in the UFC there. Yeah, and really, I think I'm leaning Fiziev as well. I think literally everywhere he's better than Justin Gaethje, except for maybe just insanity.
A lot of people don't even realize that Gaethje's a wrestler too, man. He just doesn't use it. I don't know why. I've never understood. Gaethje's a wrestler?
Do you know how many attempts Justin Gaethje? How many takedown attempts Justin Gaethje has? How many times has he attempted a damn takedown in the UFC? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, no, but I know that he's a D1 wrestler, and I have no idea.
If I put the over under 5.5 takedown attempts for Justin Gaethje in his UFC career.
I mean, now I want to say under, obviously.
One. He was a national champion, or he's a very high level collegiate wrestler. He is attempted, not scored.
State champion.
Not scored, attempted one takedown. He has never scored a takedown in his UFC career, which is bananas. I did see an interview.
Fight, right?
Yes, Eddie Alvarez. I did see an interview this week where somebody asked him about that. Like, what are the odds that this is obviously you're getting to a different point in your career. Like he said a long time ago, I'm going to keep fighting. I know that my fighting style has an expiration date, but I'm just going to keep doing it until I can't. Maybe that Chucky Ellis fight was a start of that. Maybe not, but realistically, anybody that knows anything about this kind of thinks he has to wrestle here if he wants to beat him. So somebody asked him, what are the odds that we actually see that first Justin Gaethje takedown in the UFC? And he said a 6 out of 10. And he said historically it would have been way less than a 6 out of 10. I don't think we see it, but do you think he's gonna take a shot and actually try to use that wrestling skill he has?
I mean, I'd love to see it, but I mean, if the person I was thinking was RDA, RDA is like, he loves being on the mat and all that, and Fiziev was able to stuff takedowns, no problem on that. So I think Fiziev will be all right. He's shorter too, so he's gonna be able to get lower. So I think he's gonna have no problem, being able to actually stop the takedowns.
Let me give you some stats here. So Justin Gaethje lands 31 significant strikes per round, which is crazy, but he takes 32.8 significant strikes per round. Fiziev lands 21 and takes 21 significant strikes. He does average opponents average 2 takedown attempts per round, but only land 0.05 of those per round. I think that means he's been taken down like once. And so I think I see this fight going one of two ways. I think it's the brawl that everybody thinks it's going to be early. Actually, I have no idea how long that can go, but I could see either one of these guys getting a knockout as early as the first 10 seconds and as late as the last 10 seconds. But let me ask you this: Fiziev coming from that Muay Thai background, which from what I understand is essentially like dirty kickboxing that you fight in the clinch a lot. Do you think Fiziev can or will look to with that style that Gaethje brings and just wants to hit you and wants you to hit him back? Do you think Fiziev kind of looks to fight from the clinch more and kind of mitigate some of that? Because if he does, I could see this actually shocking people and going the distance.
Yeah, so I think round one, I honestly don't think round one is going to be the round that we're all hoping it is anymore, because I think Justin Gaethje has noticed that in his last few fights, that first round, he comes out hot. I think he comes in with a game plan, and then he gets in there and thinks he can destroy this guy. And then round one just either goes his way or it doesn't. So I see this, especially with what you mentioned right now. I can see like round one being like each other, let's test each other out. Maybe Gaethje go for a takedown here and there and see if he could take him down. But I think the fight's going to start in round two. I think that's when it's really going to get cooking, because I think they're going to realize it's not going to be a fight on the mat. I think they're going to be like, all right, just knuckle up, bite down on your freaking mouthpiece, and let's do this. So, yeah, I think one of the ways I'll be looking at this fight for sure is round two, round three finish. I wonder what are the odds for just a round, not even a fighter?
Fight winning round round 2 is plus 330, round 3 is plus 600. You can also get fight to start round 3, yes, for minus 125. I don't think that's a bad look either. I don't know though, man. This is one I haven't put anything in on this yet, and I almost don't know if I want to because of how good of a fight I think this is going to be. I kind of just want to sit back and watch this one. I think we might looking at the records. Fight for sure. I could. Yeah, everybody's saying how this is definitely going to be a knockout. It's going to be a brawl. I could absolutely see this going to a decision. And wait, let me see. Fight to go the distance is plus 130. If you want to just sprinkle a little bit on that, nothing that you're going to be upset at all about losing. But
what's over 1.5?
Over 1.5 is juiced. Let me see. I just clicked off of it.
Minus over 300.
Minus 180. So it's not too bad.
Oh,
it's not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
Let me ask you this though. Justin Gaethje's like a plus 195 or something, dog. Is that kind of? And I know Fiziev is outstanding. Like I said, he's won his last 6. He's only lost his first he's only ever lost his first fight in the UFC. But you look at Justin Gaethje's record, his 2 losses in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights are Charles Oliveira and Khabib Nurmagomedov,
Yeah.
beating guys like Michael Chandler, Edson Barboza, Tony Ferguson, Donald Cerrone, all think towards the end of their careers. But damn, man, like plus 180 on that strength of schedule. Come on, like I feel like if you're gonna, Eric Renard does say disrespectful. And listen, like I said, I'm not the Gaethje fanboy that a lot of UFC fans are. I respect him. I think he's a great fighter. He's awesome to watch. I think Fiziev is probably gonna win the fight, but I don't think these lines are right. I don't think they're priced right, man. And if you're gonna lean anything, I think the value is on Gaethje.
The value is on Gaethje for sure.
All right.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to like pinpoint exactly what you think Fiziev is gonna win to really make it worth it. In my opinion, it's just basically one of those things that, like, I think it's like a passing of the guard. They're basically giving them numbers, assuming that Gaethje's like sliding on his way out, and that Fiziev is like a guy, stepping up right now, and he's like the next big thing in that division. So,
let me price something out
tonight for sure.
Yeah, let me price something out real quick. Because what I'm looking at is same game parlaying on DraftKings. 2 different things, just almost like as hedge plays. So Fiziev money line, and then look at like over
fight props
over 9.5 minutes.
Who gets the most significant strikes?
Gaethje.
All right. Is there going to be a knockdown, you think?
Gaethje also gets knocked down.
So, but you could put it like just knockdown. You don't have to take a fighter. If you take a fighter, those props would be super nice. But total knockdowns, if you add 1 knockdown to the fight, minus 145. So we'll say there'll be just 1 knockdown.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to mess with takedowns, man. No takedowns.
Take the under.
It was just 1.
Oh, it's just yes or no.
Plus. Okay. Yeah. Over. Let's do over 1.5. I mean, if that's not bad, man. If you take Fiziev to win, Justin Gaethje most strikes, 1 total knockdown in a fight over 1.5 rounds. I mean, plus 625.
That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. So what I was looking at too, just kind of with the 2 ways that we kind of think this is going to go. You can get Fiziev money line and over 9.5 minutes. So it doesn't even technically have to start the 3rd round for plus 140, right? And then you can just take Gaethje money line at plus 190. And if you sprinkle same odds or the same unit size on both of those, I think there's a good chance you come out on top. If you want to, that's almost like an arbitrage type thing. But you could take
even over half a round. Fiziev and over half a round is still decent odds. Minus 170.
It's not bad. Yeah, over 1.5 gets you. Yeah. All right, we've talked a lot about that one too, and we've got these damn fights start in 51 minutes, and we haven't talked to.
No, they got bumped up, man. They got bumped up.
Oh, really?
Not till. Yeah, for you, they're not till like 1 o'clock now. I think something got canceled, and so they got bumped up. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because I'm like, I got to get the card out of time. Discord,
All right, let's. Anything else on that fight? Check. Go. Wait. Let me pause for a second because I have not talked 1 second about our sponsors yet. If you want Richie's full card for tonight, go to goldboys.com, sign up. You get everything from him as well as the kind of the goats like Ryan Props, JD, obviously Gold, McAfee, all those guys, all for one price. It's awesome. The best value I think if you're gonna be paying for picks. And on gambling Twitter. Also, big thank you to Pickett Sports, really the only way to be tracking your bets and your profit long term. And really, if you want to be successful over the long term in sports gambling, I think you almost have to have Pickett Sports. Use code GoldBoys. You get $3 for free or $100 for free. Don't know where they get the money. They just give it to you. Also, big thank you to Boom Fantasy, daily sports fantasy, and an over-under kind of prop format. Really awesome platform. They've been awesome to work with as well, especially if you're in a non-legal gambling state like Florida or something like that. And I think they also do have UFC plays as well. So. Okay, let's wrap that up. Anything else? Anything else on that fight before we move on?
No, nothing else, man.
All right, next fight on the main card: Gunnar Nelson, Brian Barberena. I'll be honest, I didn't do a whole lot of research on this one because it should just basically be a Nelson. Yeah, me and you were talking about this one too. Why is this fight here? This should be a Nelson run through. Somebody saying Barberena first round only plus 250 is interesting. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Barberena took this on short notice, by the way. So if you didn't know that, Barberena just stepped in on super short notice. I don't even know why these odds aren't even wider. And then I think is it pronounced Gunnar?
Gunnar, yeah, I think you're right. Gunnar.
But anyways, Mr. Nelson, he was supposed to fight. Was it D-Rod? I think it
I
was
have no
D-Rod,
idea.
right? Yeah, Daniel Rodriguez. I think he was supposed to fight Daniel Rodriguez, and he had to withdraw. And so Barbarina, who's like completely out of shape, 20 days notice, which is still decent. But this is a horrible matchup for him. So I'll tell you right now, Nelson is part of one of my parlays for the Discord. And I'd consider, if I were you guys, it's probably like one of my favorite, most confident picks for his fight. So yeah, if you take Barbarina early knockout and you heard this now, you can laugh at me later. But I think Nelson's pretty much a lock for this. And I don't use that word often, but I mean, this is not a fight I'm really interested in other than just put him in a parlay.
Yeah. All right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good to move on then because I got nothing. This next one I'm actually excited about. Jennifer Maia, Casey O'Neill. This fight was originally like one of the early on fights in the prelims. They moved it up to bump what's her name and who's her face down. Help me.
Casey O'Neill, Jennifer Maia.
Yeah, what fight did they bump out of the main card? Oh my God, both names are completely slipping me. Hang on. This was supposed to be Joanna Wood and Luana Carolina was supposed to be on this fight, and they swapped them. So now Joanna Wood is and Carolina are like the third fight.
I didn't even
and
know.
they moved up Jennifer Maia, Casey O'Neill. I think this is I think this should be a pretty solid fight. And I think it's a fight that is important for the future of the division too, potentially, and one that I think Casey O'Neill, I see her just being dominant here. She's just I think better everywhere, especially at this point in Jennifer Maia's career. Jennifer had that run where she was, she got beat by Shevchenko, and I think she's past her time. I think she's going to be retiring soon, honestly. And you look at Casey O'Neill. I think Casey O'Neill's team doesn't take this fight, and I don't even know that the UFC offers her this fight if both aren't just super, super confident, because I think if we're looking a year and a half, 2 years down the road, we're looking at I think the UFC wants it to be, can Casey O'Neill take the belt from Aaron Blanchfield is I think where they're looking a year and a half in the future. So I think there's a lot of value in Casey O'Neill money line at 175. I did post, I tweeted this out earlier this week. I'm on Casey O'Neill money line parlayed with the over 1.5. I think is that what I took for minus 115. I think that's a really good look. Like I said, I think she's better everywhere, especially at this point in Jennifer Maia's career. I think she can dominate all 3 rounds. But I don't know that she gets a finish. Yeah,
I don't think she can, but she can.
Yeah,
I don't think she will, but she can.
No, I'm in the same boat. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, I like O'Neill. O'Neill's probably one of my favorite money line value bets for this card. I mean, this is one of the few that you can honestly take and feel good about it. She's minus 175. I wish she was a little better, like minus 130.
Yeah.
But O'Neill still is one of my favorite that you could just go money line. She's got multiple finishes in the last few fights. She's coming off a knee surgery, so that's the only thing that's a little scary. She's like 2 months removed from it. Like literally just had.
That's the only thing you worry about.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think she's going to dominate this fight. Can she finish? I don't know. So what I like Casey O'Neill, and then I have some of the bets out there for like decisions. So I have Casey O'Neill by decision plus 110, and then the other one that I like is split decision, just in case if Maia happens to move around, which she could. Which actually reminds me of something you mentioned earlier, and I thought about. I wish DK, if anybody from DK is by miracle listening right now, that I wish DK is one of the few books that doesn't offer you the opportunity to buy around. Other books let you buy around. So like they'll have like kind of like tennis where it's like a 3-set match and you could take somebody plus 1.5.
Yeah.
Like I wish DK did that where like, you had the opportunity to maybe buy around.
To win, like take somebody to win the first round.
Or just a round, period. So if a fight goes to a decision, you took someone to win a round, but you lose the fight, you still win your bet because you bought a round.
I hear a lot about the betting over under points too, right? So betting or betting the spread, like Maia plus 1.5 on the judges' scorecard or something like that. I don't think I don't know what books offer that. I haven't seen it, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, Maia by split is plus 900, so it's one that I have some money on myself.
Yeah. And yeah, at Casey O'Neill's last fight, she did win by split decision. Also, like you were saying, has 2 knockouts: Antonia Shevchenko, Shayna Dobson, and then a submission win over Lara Procopio. So young fighter has gotten in 4 fights, has one of everything really. So
and her knockouts are like ground and pound knockouts too. Just keep that in mind. So those are good. That's what she likes. That's the only scary thing about trying to take her by what finish. because she just basically likes to climb on top of you and either beat you up, or if you roll over, she's gonna take your neck.
Yeah.
So it's like you know
Casey
you
O'Neill
best.
is averaging 1.8 takedown attempts per round, and landing 0.8 of those per round. Jennifer Maia, actually, not great takedown defense either. Opponents averaging half a takedown per round against her and 1.13 attempts. So I definitely see Casey O'Neill being able to get that to the ground, and once she gets you there, she is a problem with that ground and pound. So yeah, that's what I'm on here. Casey O'Neill money line over 2.5 -115. I think there's value in her money, like you were saying, just straight at -175. I think that's still playable. And yeah, by decision +110. Don't hate it either.
Nope, not at all. But yeah, money line.
Yeah. All right, another. We've been in agreement, I think, on everything here, and I think we're actually undefeated. When we both agree on a pick. Just saying.
Sure.
This next one, we might start to disagree a little bit. I don't know. I'm excited to talk about it. But this, I think, should be a really good fight. Marvin Vettori against Roman, the Caucasian, the home wrecker, Dolidze. Dolidze coming off, a 3 pretty big knockout wins. I think you're gonna call him lucky. I'm not gonna disagree completely, but they're 3 knockout wins. First round, second round. Kind of on a run there. Versus Marvin Vettori, who's just an all-around really good fighter. He's a really good fighter. He's really good pretty much everywhere. Landing more significant strikes than his opponents round by round. But how do you see this one playing out, man?
So it's not so much for Roman that I think, like what I was trying to say, you're talking about what I mentioned before we started with the
I was
show.
supposed to be in
But
confidence.
so
Sorry.
no worries, no. So like Dolidze, what it is he just discovered he had hands, man,
Yeah.
and so like now he's really relying on those, or he like really thinks like he's this knockout artist. So that's where I was just like, this guy, like he's gonna go out there and keep thinking he can just keep putting everyone to sleep, and somebody's gonna catch him again, because his best work really is on the mat. He's like a BJJ guru. And so what I'm hoping, because Vettori has really decent, his decent takedown defense. I have a feeling that Dolidze is going to try to stand up with Vettori, and I think that's where. So I'm leaning Vettori for this match. I think it's going to be a Vettori KO decision is what I like the most, or just KO. Because what are the double chance for Vettori KO decision -225 is not that great. So it's you got to pick which side you like the most. I think it's going to be more either the KO or decision for Vettori, because I don't think Dolidze can knock out Vettori. His chin is like, this man's like made of iron. He's like to take him down. I mean, I've seen this guy end fights and just get beat up the whole fight. His face be just swollen to hell. But I don't think Dolidze is going to be able to knock him out, and I don't think Vettori is going to be, hopefully, not dumb enough to try to go to the mat with this guy, because Dolidze can get he gets some crazy grappling submissions on the mat. So I'm just hoping these two try to stand up and bang for a little bit, and I can kind of see probably Dolidze trying to rely on his grappling in round 3, trying to see if he can get a finish that way, because I don't see him putting it away. But yeah, I think, like I said, for me, it's going to be either Vettori by KO, Vettori by decision.
Yeah, Vettori has never 13 fights in the UFC.
Never been knocked out.
Two submission wins, no wins by knockout, right? Am I seeing that right? So he's got 13 fights, 8 wins, 4 losses, 6 wins by decision, 4 losses by decision, 2 wins by submission. He's never been knocked out. He's never knocked anyone out in the UFC. So I think, I think I would lean decision there. Look, something I was going to look up. Come on. Winning method.
And this is the other thing while you're looking that up.
Yep.
Because you were talking, I know. So you're leaning Dolidze, right? That's the one.
I'm not. I think Vettori is probably going to win the fight. I do. I think there's a real shot that Dolidze can catch him. Absolutely.
Submission, though, right? You don't think KO? You think he's going to hand him his first KO loss?
Potentially. But
who's
KO,
Vettori's 2 losses too? You know who he's lost?
Yeah, he has lost to.
I mean,
he lost
you're talking
to
about resumes.
Yeah. Robert Whittaker is the other side. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I do think Vettori's going to win the fight. But if you look at like, hang on.
I mean, he's beat Kevin Holland, man. He beat Jack Hermanson.
What I would, I don't think I'm going to bet on this one actually, but I think there is value in Roman Dolidze round 1 at +650 or Roman Dolidze round 2 at +900. Also Martin Vettori by decision at -135. I think those are the three
Yeah,
ways you can
Delete
attack
for
this.
me. The reason if Delete wins this fight by knockout, I'll believe. That's it. I'll be all in from here on
Yeah.
out.
Oh yeah. Give him a
To
title
me,
shot. Give him a title shot.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll believe. But to me, Delete is like the better version of Paul Craig, basically. You know,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Paul Craig. He's basically Paul Craig with hands.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only thing. But yeah, I think this is going to be a Vittori fight. And I think this is going to be his little bounce back. You know, he's probably hurting off his little fight skid off of Whitaker and losing respect. And, you know, people like blast him on Twitter, man. Like, I don't know why, but like people really don't like the guy. Like,
Delete.
I have no idea. Yeah, no, Vittori, man, he gets a lot of hate on Twitter. Yeah, he gets a lot of hate.
Last thing before we move on, and Metro Boom, yeah, we'll go back through everything at the end that we're on fight by fight, just real quick. And you didn't miss much. We're on. I guess we're wrapping up the main card here, but yeah, we'll go back through all the picks here.
Yeah, I'm gonna post some free stuff on Twitter too. So
yeah.
if, you know, when we give out like our information, just keep an eye out on Twitter. I'll have free plays that I'm gonna give out. And then, you know, I'm pretty sure you're pretty active on Twitter as well, answering questions. So a lot of people DM me and ask me for advice. So just feel free.
Let me ask you this: we one of the first shows we did on UFC, we had Cheyenne was fighting. Cheyenne, I don't remember her last name. The Leeds lady.
I can't remember.
Used to be Cheyenne Bays. Anyway, if you want to, there's drama there. There's drama there, which is, you know, you look that up. I don't want to talk about the drama, but let me ask you this: this 4-fight win streak, actually, so the three knockout streak from Delize, I think coincidentally was around the time that Cheyenne came in. What is her? I forget her maiden name. What she's going by now. You know, is there anything to, you know, got this new lady in my life, I'm just gonna start putting people on the ground, like, you know.
For Delete?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Like I said, for me, he's like, that's what we were talking about earlier. I'm like, man, where do these knockouts come from? Because this guy just
Cheyenne, dude, you know, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, he's getting that good stuff apparently, man. Got to give him a whole new level of confidence. Yes, you know, get yourself a good partner in your corner. You know.
All right.
That's hilarious. Yeah, he got himself a good support system. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, maybe there's something there, maybe not. We'll see. All right, let's move on. I think that is the full main card, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be honest on the rest of these. There's a couple spots I'll talk through that I think I might like. I haven't locked anything in here, prelims or early prelims.
I have like 2 more fights that I really like, and that's it.
Okay. Jack Shore, you got anything on this fight?
I mean, I like Jack Shore a lot. Yeah. He had a bad career loss at his last one, where he lost to Simon, and he got caught like in an early triangle choke. And I think I lost money on that fight because I had him. Marquand Amirkhani, I'm not a huge fan of, man. I don't think he's that good. I feel like he's a little bit overrated. I see a lot of people are, you know, trying to take him, like, you know, basically, you know, you always have like Twitter trying to figure out who their dog is. And, but to me, I think this is a Jack Shore fight all the way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bet him by round. Like, I'm not going to do how he's going to finish. I'm just going to do Shore by round. So like Shore round 2, Shore round 3.
Nice.
And then I like him. I had him. He was somebody I was gonna put in a parlay, but I woke up this morning. He's minus 500. I'm like, oh my god! Like, yeah,
and I think that's priced about right, honestly.
Yeah, it moved though. It was definitely like, I think earlier in the week it was like right around 350, and I liked it there for a parlay because he was one of the ones that I like in a parlay. Him and O'Neal was somebody I really liked. But yeah, Shore round 2, Shore round 3, 400 plus 900 without an actual finish. So I mean, you figure, you know, for I don't know what people's what do you call it, unit sizes, but like, let's say your unit size is $10. I mean, you know, you can put $10 round 2, $10 round 3. Either one of those finishes, you're still up.
Right.
That's a lot of time how I build up my bankroll on a lot of early fights too. So that's where I'm leaning. I do think he finds a finish here too. Yeah,
I think that's the only way to me that you can attack this, I think, because like I said, that Jack Shore minus 500, I think that's about right. I think he is that much better. I don't think my minus 500 is playable. I don't even know if it's that valuable a parlay piece. So yeah, look for some value. Sprinkle there on the round 2. Sprinkle the round 3.
The other one that I really like for this fight, if you want to stay a little more neutral, because again, I don't think this goes to distance, is inside the distance. Just you don't have to take either fighter. Minus 185.
That's not bad either. Yeah, I like that. All right, next fight. One of 2 Chris Duncans on the card versus Omar Morales. I'll be
This is
honest.
white Chris Duncan.
I don't know anything about either of these guys, so I'll let you talk if you got anything. If not, we'll just move on.
For this one, I lean Morales, man. Morales is nasty, man. He's a nasty fighter.
Light favorite here. Odds are really close. -105, -115. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten a finish in a little bit. My favorite finish that he got was in the Contender Series back in 2019. I mean, this dude's like leg kicks are just disgusting. He has insane leg kicks, and so that's how he won his last fight by finish. Um, but Chris Duncan, yeah, I mean, I think this is a Morales fight in my opinion. That's what I'm leaning for on this one. He's just like I said, he's just a nasty brawler, packed. He fights really close, like keeps himself really tight, throws bombs. So yeah, this one I'm just leaning Morales for this fight, -115 money line right now. And then by finish, I don't really have anything because it could go a little bit further. Because even if you look at his lines, like even the books don't think he's going to get a finish. Because even though while he's favored, I mean KO +240, submission +900, decision +300. So the books don't even really expect a finish of anything. They're leaning finish for Duncan.
Right.
Plus
what's the line? What's the line? Duncan finish or Morales money line? Or yeah, Morales decision or Duncan finish. That double chance.
So Chris Duncan by KO or Morales by decision -165.
No, hate it.
No,
hate it. All right.
And then your exact method of victory. I mean, if you
I was hoping that would be plus money.
Decision. Yeah, I mean, if you just go to win by decision, no fighter, like just pick a decision win +175. That's not bad at all.
That's really
win by finish for your way.
That's really not because, I mean, 3 rounds really isn't that long. You know what I mean? Plus money on that to go to decision. Only?
Man, Morales. So the one that you like, the one that you mentioned earlier, money line finish only. Chris Duncan -135, Morales +100.
Really? But you said that was. Yeah. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If they didn't lean other, they're saying Morales in other areas they're favoring him to not get.
Well, finish, Duncan right? That's interesting. Duncan is favored to win more by finish than Morales is. But Morales is expected to win as far as money line.
All right. Okay. Yeah, well, you're on Morales money line, right?
Yeah, I'm just on Morales money line.
All right,
and I'm not heavy on that one. That one's like one of those ones that, like, if I gave advice on like unit size, I'd say like bet that like at a quarter unit just for fun. Like if you want to be active and you got to bet every fight, sprinkle.
You don't have to bet every fight. Public service announcement. Don't do it. Actually, there's not value in every fight. I promise, there's not.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned something to me a while back, and it's 100% true. 2 ways that you can save money by UFC: skip women's fights and skip heavyweight fights. Those are some of the biggest busts ever. Like last week.
Yes. I agree with you to some extent on heavyweights for sure. The women's fight, I think anytime you see like a plus 350 or more dog, just a system play, bet the dog. I think you'll come out on top. I would like to do some research on that. I don't think there's ever that big of a skill gap unless we're talking about like Aaron Blanchfield or a champion. But I feel like, especially lower levels, not so great women's fight. Anytime you see a plus 300, I think you can always bet that as a system play and come out on top potentially. But yes,
just fade JJ Aldridge, just fade her.
Oh my God, forever, yeah.
She
also
should have been cut after that last fight, man.
And then Jessica I also go fight in Bellator, go away, something. Anyway, all right. Sam Patterson, Yanal Ashimov. Don't know shit about these guys either. Go ahead.
I mean, Patterson, he's just making his his debut in front of his home crowd right now. So this is he's won 6 in a row, 9-0 in his last 10 fights. So he has his pro career is kind of like inflated a little bit. And then Ashmaz, I mean, he hasn't fought in a year, man. So this is like a really tough fight. I mean, right now I'm leaning Patterson, but I think my favorite thing for this fight is honestly just like over 1.5 rounds.
Yeah.
Just like, over in rounds. I mean, it's -175. These guys aren't exactly, huge finishers. Like I said, this is going to be Patterson's like probably better competition that he's fought. And Ashmaz is, he's pretty big, like built. So he's going to be tough to finish. The height and reach advantage is the big thing, though. Patterson has like a 10-inch reach advantage. That's sick. That means that's 5 inches per arm.
Yeah.
Like, that jab he has a 5-inch reach advantage for jab. So, I just, as long as he keeps them at a distance. And somebody saw, I saw it online. Somebody had a good one, which was Patterson in over 1.5 rounds. That's not a bad bet.
Yeah.
If you do like a same game parlay.
I don't have a clue. To be honest, like I said, I didn't even look at these guys' stats. So I trust you.
Yeah.
I will always trust you. And if you take it, I'm with you.
1.5 is plus 125.
Dre Days 007 says the Neal line just moved down. Which line? What book? If you're talking about Casey O'Neill, I still see her as minus 175 on DraftKings. So let me know who exactly you're talking about and what book you're on. Also, like if you worth searching Twitter real quick, see if there's any news or anything there. I like Casey O'Neill all the way up to like minus 195, honestly. So Muhammad Mokaev, I think you like this guy, right? And Rafael Fieldho. Rafael Fieldho.
Yeah, Fieldho.
Fieldho.
So this one, so clearly all the value I think here is on Fieldho. I think Muhammad Mokaev is gonna win. I just think like this one
minus 850.
Right?
You can't do
unbettable. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, like I think I'm just gonna enjoy the fight. The other thing that's crazy. So you know about Mokaev's injury?
I know there was an injury. That's all I know.
He's still hurt. Yeah. So he was supposed to have surgery.
Really?
And he basically went around and got opinion after opinion after opinion before somebody was like, hey, it's good enough where you can just let it heal and still fight. And so he's got like really big aspirations of being like a young champion. And in my opinion, I think he's like, he thinks he's a little bit better than he is. He's just not a finisher. He's a great grappler. He can take people down. He can hold you. He'll get those ground and pound punches. So he wins fights by just like overwhelming you. But he's just not a finisher.
Can you bet on no contest? If you bet on draw and it's a no contest, do you get that? Probably not, right? No. Can you? Is it any books allow no contest bets?
Not that I know of.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he goes down with an injury and can't continue, but it's not because of that they could rule that as a no contest. But anyway, go ahead.
There's like you'll see some that'll say like by DQ. Some spots will have like by DQ. Or
I see draw. I see DQs. I've seen like a point to be taken.
Like the double chance will have it, so it'll say like KO, DQ, or decision. So like if you took Fieldho by KO or decision, KO or submission, man, yeah, I mean Fieldho's lines are nuts.
Yeah,
they have no faith in this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could.
By double chance, my man's like listen to that. I've never actually even seen this. I don't think. Jesus Christ. By KO or decision plus 800 for a double chance.
Yikes!
Like usually double chances will be like minus 150.
We say it all the time, right? This UFC, this mixed martial arts, anything can happen. Two guys in the octagon. Like I feel like you almost have to sprinkle something on that. But we weren't saying that about. Dude who bought Bo Nickel, but this isn't Bo Nickel, right? This is
no.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, we didn't say about Bo Nickel. We called the first round finish. We were like, God, man, we're just gonna smoke this guy. And then the other thing that I didn't know until after the fight, that Bo Nickel fight is what's his name that he was fighting. He didn't even know who Bo Nickel was.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not research your opponent? He basically just took a fight because he said the UFC tossed a lot of money at him. It was like, hey, just fight this guy. And he was like, yeah, sure. And then went and just trained on a regular camp and didn't prepare for Bo Nickel at all.
Yikes.
Like, why didn't you tell us that before? But this one, so yeah, it was a shoulder injury. So yeah, he's hurt. And Mokaev basically said, doctor said, I'm good enough to fight. I think I'm strong enough to fight. And so I just think, yeah, he's just going to basically just try to out-grapple this guy for 3 rounds. I don't know. I mean, if I had to take a victory,
I wouldn't
take away. I think Mokaev by decision plus 165. Other than that, I just say just stay away and enjoy this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. Apparently O'Neill was 165 on Bovada, now 170. Bovada is usually pretty sharp too. That's a pretty good line. That's better than we're getting on DraftKings on the legal books. So obviously I would love it at 165. I like it at 175. So yeah, take the 170 and be happy with it, man. I think.
Yeah, Bovada usually have horrible lines.
They're usually really sharp. All right, the other Christian Leroy Duncan. A lot of people are excited about taking on Dusko Todorovic. I watched a little bit of Christian Leroy Duncan film. He does look, he looks like he could be the real deal. A lot of potential. A lot of people see him, being around for a while and maybe fighting for a title at least one day. I didn't watch anything on this Dusko guy, but I think Duncan's a minus 215 favorite. Dusko coming back at plus 185. From what I understand, that's priced about right. But I would lean Duncan here. What do you got? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take Duncan just because he has the more power and you know, Todorovic, he's been knocked out a couple times. I think he has two losses exactly by KO, including recently, who was it by Chidi? Elbows round one. And I think Duncan offers the most power. This is one of those ones that basically this is the way I'm leaning. I'm going to take Duncan to win the fight. But if live odds, if it goes past one round, I would really consider Todorovic, because like he's one of these guys that he likes grabbing people and putting you up against the fence and just kind of like wearing you out. And that could happen, Duncan as well. So I would say, take Duncan. And if this goes over like even 1.5, maybe consider betting the other way live to like hedge a little bit, because he could start wearing out. So yeah, it's one of these things that's like either boom right away, or you never know. He has the ability to get held down a little bit and get beat up. So
This fight's pretty early on. I expect butts to be in seats by this fight, though. UK has a lot of pretty hardcore MMA fans. Events in there are usually nuts. Christian Leroy Duncan on a home field advantage here. I expect the crowd to be there. For the fifth fight on the card, and I expect it to be loud for Christian Leroy Duncan, and that can matter for sure. But yeah, that's where I would lean. But like I said, I'm not gonna actually bet it because I didn't watch anything on Dusko. So
I think we missed a fight too. So
did we? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Lerone Murphy and Gabriel Santos. I didn't watch these guys either. Lots of preparation on my side.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, yeah, for that one, not a whole lot on it. I like these guys both like to like just throw bombs. So this one I just expect to be a finish.
What are you playing that?
Yeah, it's something that I like for the fight. Fight to go to the distance. No, it has it at plus 100. I was like, of course I'm going to take that. I mean, plus odds for inside the distance for two guys that like to throw, bombs.
Right.
Yeah, I watched film on Gabriel Santos, and they call him the mosquito. Yeah, he's this Brazilian guy, man. He's nasty. I mean, his last fight, he won in round 3. He had so much power still in round 3. He won by a liver shot. Like, who does that? Like, he hit him so hard in the liver, the guy collapsed and quit.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the fight before that, he got a head kick round 2 and KO'd the guy. He's got rear naked chokes. He's got it all, man. He's these Brazilian fighters, man. I don't know what it is about Brazil, but man, Brazil is like the other places, kind of like the Dagestanis, man. They just raise like these beasts of fighters. I have no idea why, but
BJJ instead of the wrestling, but
usually. And then Lerone, the Miracle. They call him the Miracle. But yeah, he's another one. Finishes, look at round 1 or round 2, knees, ground and pound, round 1, KO, round 1. So yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, I would go. I don't know. I think the best one is just going to be, because these fighters are still so like unknown. So you just basically got to watch film and pick the side you feel the best about. I'm just going to choose violence on this one and say somebody's going to sleep.
Violence. Love it. Jake Hadley, Malcolm Gordon. Jake Hadley minus 425. Favorite Malcolm Gordon comeback plus 340. No idea either. I think Hadley has I think Hadley is a UK guy as well, so he's got the home field. Mm-hmm. He's a huge favorite. I don't know that you can bet somebody this early in the card at minus 425. I don't know. You like anything?
Yeah, his lines got juice too, because I caught him earlier at 350. He was one of the parlays that I had in my card, and like today I'm like re-scrambling. Like, all right, how do I build a better card for? Our parlay for the Discord, because these lines are so juiced that it pisses me off when you have like a minus 400, you have in a parlay and they lose. You're like, you feel like a dumb. Yeah. You're like, oh my God, why did I waste time like throwing that in there? But yeah, he got gassed up to minus 425 against Gordon. And I don't know, there's nothing other than, I think, Hadley submission. That's how I had.
Love it.
Hadley by submission plus 175.
Not bad.
I mean, if you look at his KO, it's plus 200, so they already feel like the submission is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then submission decision is minus 150 if you want a little more coverage or feel a little bit safer. That'd be the only other one that I like.
And
then what's inside the distance? I didn't even look at that. Inside distance minus 200. Yeah. I mean, I think he finishes him.
Yeah. All right, love it. Next one, I did watch a little film on here. Joanne Wood, no longer Calderwood. We're in the Joanne Wood era, taking on Luana Carolina, who Carolina's a plus 145 underdog. Joanne's a minus 170 favorite. What you were saying about just fading women's fights, I think that probably applies here. All things considered, Joanne Wood should win this fight. But this is, we might be seeing her last fight in the UFC. I think there's a good chance she leaves gloves in the octagon tonight. In a lot of Carolina, I think she's a kickboxing champion. Had some has had a little bit of a bad run, but I think she actually holds the record for the fastest turnaround in UFC history. Her last fight, or the fight before, I think she took on 8 days notice. She fought 8 days after. What's that?
She went to decision.
Yeah. So the cardio's there. I was looking at the tail of the tape because looking at her, I thought she was definitely going to be significantly taller and have a big reach advantage over Joanne. It looks like that's not the case.
They're both 5'6".
Yeah, both 5'6". Carolina is gonna have a 4-inch reach advantage, which is helpful. It's not crazy. So yeah, like I said, Joanne should win this fight, but I can definitely see Carolina pulling it out, whether by decision or even catching her. She's got the striking ability. She's got the cardio, and who knows what Joanne Wood we're gonna get. But you got anything on this fight, or is this a fade?
Yeah, I mean, Carolina for me, it's a little bit of a fade. I mean, I'd lean Wood as well. Her line isn't too bad at minus 170. So if you want to just take the money line and just have some fun, enjoy the fight. Carolina, the only thing with me is like Carolina, like her wins come against opponents who have like garbage records.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when she went on her little hot streak, her opponents' records were like 0-0, 0-0, 2-1. She's been knocked out before. So I see Wood. I can see Wood like just like kind of like beating her up and just stretching this out. I think if anything, this is probably going to be one of those decision fights. So you could look at, I don't know what the split decisions are, but that's something that I may consider. I always like split decisions for women because they always seem to be the ones that go over 2.5 rounds. They'll go all the way. So
split decision is plus 600.
Yeah, no, 600 plus 1100 for Carolina.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, they should be wider, like 1200.
That's awful.
So yeah, I mean, this is basically a fade. Wood, the only reason I like Wood, I have like a little information on her as far as like in my notes, is because I do DFS, and so I like Wood for DFS. Wood like racks up points for daily fantasy. Yeah, I mean, what's her? Wood averages 110 DraftKings points in fantasy.
Damn.
Yeah, man. She scored over 96 points in DK, 6 of her last 7 fights.
Love that.
That's a lot. If you do DFS.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so she's just somebody that I like for that.
Yeah, this is a stay away from me. I've never messed around with daily fantasy for UFC.
It's fun, man.
I might look into something there too. All right, Jai Herbert, plus 170 dog. I think he is a live dog, but that's really all I've got on this one. Against Ludovic Klein, a minus 200 favorite. You got anything in this one?
Yeah, this one I'm a little torn on, man. Herbert has not been the same since he's been knocked out. Basically, Herbert was like a high volume guy that just won by like his boxing. He's really good at boxing. His striking was like really nice and accurate. But man, he's one of these guys that if you just like cough on his chin, he starts stumbling. And ever since he got knocked out like 2 fights ago, I mean, it was like, I thought, like, literally, I'm like, oh my God, get the ambulance. Like, his eyes rolled in the back of his head. They were trying to wake him up. And who was it? Ilya? I think it was Ilya.
Yeah, he got rocked.
Ilya?
Yeah, Ilya's different. Like, Ilya's different.
Yeah. He got scary knocked out, though.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been the same, man. His last fight, I was happy that he won. I had him winning that fight because I was giving him the comeback win finally, and I had him winning, though, that last fight by knockout. But same thing. He just looked terrified, man. He just went in there and he was just throwing his few strikes here and there, trying to win by the decision, which he got. But he looked terrified. And so for this one, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to take a flyer on this one and say I'm going to go with Ludovic Klein on this one. I think Klein can win this fight.
Just the minus 200, or are you going to take it by knockout or finish?
No, I think I'd probably take it by finish. I think he could finish him. He's going to have to get in close because Herbert's going to have the distance. He's taller, longer. What's the reach advantage? He has 5-inch reach advantage. And Herbert's 34. Klein is 6 years younger than him. So I'm going to say Klein by KO.
All right.
Which is plus 130.
Last fight on the card for us. Juliana Miller, the Ultimate Fighter champion, a minus 390 favorite against Mrs. Hardy, Veronica Macedo. Veronica Hardy
Yeah,
Um,
change her name. Married to Dan.
what's that?
Married to Dan
Yeah, I
Hardy.
know. It's interesting. You look someplace, some books in the UFC. You see Hardy. DraftKings has her as Macedo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is Juliana Miller is better everywhere. Don't get me wrong. She is better everywhere. She should win the fight. She should dominate the fight. Macedo is coming off a big layoff and a losing streak, and maybe fighting for her job here. You listen to her talk, you listen to her husband talk, and she sounds super confident. I don't think she's gonna win the fight, but at plus 320, is she worth a sprinkle? I think yeah, but like I said, Joanna Miller is absolutely better everywhere. She's deadly. Another fighter I think the UFC is kind of hoping makes a real run from here. Young, exciting. Really fun to watch. She's mean. Like some fighters you look at, like an Usman. Really, you look in their eyes when they go to start the fight, and they just look ready to kill somebody. That's Juliana Miller. This should be fun to watch. Tune in early. It looks like that's a 12:45 p start time now. You got anything on this fight?
Yeah, the only thing I bet is so I have Veronica Macedo or Hardy. I have her by split because it's 2,200.
Yeah.
And so I only did that. So yes, I do think Miller wins this fight. She's bigger, she's a better wrestler. But I'm gonna give the respect to like a lot of the tape and research I've been doing with Hardy. She's been training like insane, and she says that
Yes.
she's back. And like I've seen a lot of like her coaches and all, and I like who she's training with. She's at home as well, so she gets a home crowd boost. So I'm thinking if somehow she survives and it goes to decisions, and maybe she wins a round and makes it
Yeah.
interesting, So you put $10 on the plus 2,200 for fun. But I usually have a first fight jitter, so I usually try to stay away from the first fight. So yeah, on my card I have this as a fade, but overall the only thing I do have is I have like some money on the split decision plus 2,200. Other than that, I could care less really about this fight.
Yeah.
I think Miller should win and move up, but Miller still is like really like young in this too, so she can make a lot of mistakes. She's only 3-1 as a pro.
Something like that. Something like that. I'm just trying to cook something up crazy here real quick. Because gambling Twitter, public likes big odd plays that probably aren't going to hit, right?
Oh, you want to do a nuke? That's why I have a nuke for the card, but I mean I could build one live.
Yeah, so I'm looking at
All right, hold on. I'm starting from the main event.
things that we don't think are going to happen, but are in the realm of possibility, right? So I just added Veronica Macedo, Veronica Hardy by decision at plus 650, and then I'm gonna look at Gaethje by knockout at plus 330, and then I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna stay away from Deletes. I'm gonna take Casey O'Neill by decision. Casey O'Neill by decision. That gets us to a plus 66.72. Again, not gonna hit. It's not gonna happen. But all three things that are in the realm of possibility, I think. That'd be fun. I might sprinkle a little bit on that. Let me run you through. Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, say it again.
Veronica Macedo by decision is plus 650 straight. Gaethje by KO is plus 350 straight. Casey O'Neill by decision is plus 110 straight. That is plus 6672 on DraftKings right now.
O'Neill, what was the last one? O'Neill by what?
Decision plus 110.
All right, I just want to write it down.
Not so terrible, right?
No, for plus 6,600.
Yeah, obviously you bet on. I think the implied odds on that are like 0.5% or something. So guys, don't. DC at 89 says stop. Yeah, I know. Listen, we've done a lot of serious plays on here. Let us have some fun with something to put $2-3 on. Let me talk you through a serious parlay I put in yesterday. It's only plus 275, and I was really looking at the method only money line. So these bets that you're taking a fighter on by a method, but it voids if it's not that method, right? So I took Roman Dolidze finish only money line minus 125, which I think is probably the leg you're going to like the least. I took Fiziev decision only money line, which is not great. It's minus 330. I took Usman decision only money line. It's minus 500. And I took Joanne Wood, Luana Carolina to go the distance at minus 300. And that's 4 picks at plus 275. And you also have 3 legs in there that void if they don't end in that method. So I'll run through them again. Dolidze finish only money line. Fiziev decision only money line. Usman decision only money line, and Joanna Wood, Luana Carolina to go the distance at plus 275.
Not bad. I dig it.
Not bad, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, man, this one. I kind of love this. And I'm
Do it.
like, why didn't I do? I'm gonna. All right, so all right, Usman by split decision
Jesus.
plus 550. Casey O'Neill by split decision plus 600. Viziev by KO. Gunnar Nelson by submission plus 23,787.
Give me one reason not to put $2,000 on there right now. I'm in.
I love it, man, because I mean, you figure it goes to the split decision for Usman. If they can go all five, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just
That.
basically,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and you could honestly, and if you wanted to put like $5 on this bet, you could even flip that around and do the same thing. And instead of Usman, do the same bet, but do Edwards
And it
split
would go.
decision.
That would go to the moon. That'd be plus 100K or something too. Right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's plus 23,000 for that. And it's 4 picks. I mean, God, what is it? $5 wins you 1,194. So yeah, I'll repeat that for anybody listening again right now. It's Usman by split decision, which is plus 550. Fiziev by KO, Gunnar Nelson by submission. Because I mean, he's fighting Brian Barberina, who's just like, I mean, this dude just like gets submitted so easy. And Casey O'Neill by split decision, plus 600. Because
Hey, again, guys,
sort of love it.
guys, we gave out a lot of serious plays on here. You know that you should probably tail if you like them. That one, don't put more than a few bucks on. The same thing that I read out that was plus whatever, plus 6,000, whatever.
So listen here, I did it right now. I put $5.91 on it just because I built it here live and I want to keep it now. In fact, I'm gonna screenshot it and then I'm gonna do exactly what I just told you. I'm gonna substitute. Let's see what it comes out with if you substitute Kamaru Usman now and do
that, and then run through the bets you gave out on your show on the card. I'm literally about to piss myself, so I'm gonna be right back.
Go for it. All right, y'all. So if you're still listening, if we switch to split decision now to Leon Edwards, split decision, who he's plus 2,000 for split decision. That's plus 77,075. So I'm gonna put $5 on that too, just for fun. All right. So if you're listening in really quick, so the bets that I have I'm skipping. Let's skip over the first one, which is the Miller Hardy. You just heard that live. I have the second fight, Herbert Klein. I have Klein. I like him by KO. Wood Carolina. I'm fading that, but I'm leaning Wood decision side. You can even do the Wood split decision, Carolina split decision side. Bet those if you like by $5 each. Hadley Gordon in the first fight. In the first fight, I'm leaning Hadley inside the distance or by submission. I like Duncan or Todorovic. I like that fight to end inside the distance. Let me look at it right now again and tell you what that is. But that one, I just don't want it. I don't think it'll go the distance. So Dusko and Duncan, fight props. It's minus 360. That one stinks, so we don't want to touch that. But yeah, I lean Duncan by KO, which is minus 120. Murphy and Santos. I'm just leaning that one. Lerone Murphy, Gabriel Santos. That one is another. That's the one that I like inside the distance. That was plus 100. So we'll take Murphy, Santos inside the distance plus 100. Mokaev, I think that one's just going to be Mokaev decision. Patterson, Ashmoz, I like over 1.5 rounds. Duncan Morales, I'm taking Morales on that one. Money
Real
line.
quick on that. Sorry. Jonas asked in the chat, any value on Duncan getting Dusko out in the first round?
That's what I was saying earlier. That's what we mentioned. Remember? Because I said I think Duncan finishes him early, and if not, if it goes over a round, I would be looking to hedge by betting Todorovic live. So yeah, if I was going to lean Duncan, I already said by KO round one. Let's set that up. Actually, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up, though. Yeah, plus 185. I mean, I wish they were better. I'd even go take like a chance at round two. Maybe he pieces them up and early round two finishes them. But once it hits that over 1.5, almost.
Live bet hedge.
You can almost bet, live bet hedge, and Todorovic will take over maybe just like I said, because I can see Duncan just coming out, giving it all early, and then just getting put up against the fence and worn out.
All right. Keep going, sorry.
No, that's fine. So we ended what at
Duncan
Duncan Morales,
right? Oh, I don't remember.
Oh no, yeah, that's right. I was on the other.
I was taking a piss, remember?
Yeah, no. So Lerone Murphy, Gabriel Santos. That one I really like inside the distance. Like the plus 100 is mind blowing for that fight. Like I'm gonna have that in like probably in my real. I always build a nuke parlay for the Discord, and that's probably one of the pieces right there. Mokaev, Philho, we said skip. Philho is probably the side that you may want to just toss some money on just for the 575. You know, I think Mokaev will do enough to win, and I think it'll be by decision, which is plus 165. Patterson Ashmaz, I have over 1.5 rounds for that one, which I think was like right around minus 175. Yep. So I have that one. Duncan Morales on the next one. I like Omar Morales on that one. And then that one as well. What's inside the distance now? Minus 250, not worth it. Jack Shore. I like Jack Shore inside the distance. So Shore by KO or sub. What's that line? We didn't mention that one. KO or sub minus 110. So that's one way that I like a lot. Or the other one that I like is like a late round finish. For Shore likes he can finish fights late. So if you want to do like Shore round 3 alone, it's plus 900 without a method. If you go KO or submission, what do I think is higher? So I think KO. So Shore round 3 KO plus 1400. Vittori, I just have Vittori. What did we say for that one? I'm leaning Vittori.
We talk about like a Vittori money line. You like the KO.
Yeah, I'm hoping he could put Delize out. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm hoping he can. So I'm gonna sprinkle it because it's 750. He's just not a finisher, but I think he's gonna be one of the better strikers that Delize has gone up against. And I'm probably even gonna bet a Delize KO, because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I'll bet it because, I mean, the fact that Vittori hasn't been KO'd, maybe it's time. That chin's calling.
All right.
O'Neal, we're all over O'Neal for this fight. We love her, so that's one. Gunnar Nelson submission. I have Fiziev KO. You're leaning what, Gaethje?
I don't know if I'm gonna bet this. I might put I might put Fiziev. Fiziev decision is how I would lean, honestly. Yeah. But I don't think I'm gonna bet this one at all. I'm gonna enjoy it.
All right, and then we got Leon Edwards, Usman, and I mean, I'm going Usman because it's the old UFC lover in me that just respects the champ and really loves his work. And I do think Edwards is that dude now, and he's on his he's well on his way, and leaving his name in the Hall of Fame for UFC, man. But God, Usman's wrestling is so freaking elite. And like, I felt like in that last fight, like Usman said it too, he was taking his soul, man. He's beating the snot out of him for 3 solid rounds. He was. And
they fought,
he was literally seconds away from a win.
They fought so they fought 7.5 total rounds, and Kamaru Usman has dominated 6.5 of those. 6 of those. Yeah. So all right, I'll go through my plays here. I don't have quite as many, so it won't take as long.
Hold on, can I tell you this thing too? Where you went to go pee?
Yeah.
So we switched. I did it for the room. So we switched Leon Edwards by split decision instead of Usman, and it goes from plus 23,000 to plus 77,000.
Jeez, I said it was gonna get plus 100, close to plus 100K. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put money on that too.
Put $1 on it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I did, man.
All right, so here's what I'm on tonight. I'm on Usman money line and over 2.5 rounds. I think I got that at like minus 115 or something like that. I was just looking too. Usman by decision is minus 115 also. So so maybe I got that at minus 105 then. But yeah, I like either way. I like Usman to win the fight. I like it to go over 2.5. However you want to play that. I'm going to stay away from Gaethje, Fiziev, but definitely watch the fight. I would lean Fiziev. Next thing I'm on Casey O'Neal money line and over 1.5 rounds. That is minus 115. I think I am going to sprinkle Delize by knockout at like plus 600 or something like that.
500.
Plus 500 now, okay. And then I am going to take... I think that's all I've got in for now. I might end up taking something else on one of those lower fights, but that's all I've got officially for right now. I also, while you were talking there, I threw this in as a still a lotto ticket, but one 3 outcomes I think we both agree are pretty likely. I took Usman by decision, Fiziev by decision, and O'Neal by decision. And that is plus 1077, plus 1,000 basically for those 3. So I think I'm going to take that as well. The other parlay I have in, it's like plus 2 something. Let me pull it up here. This one's a little complicated, so listen close if you like it. I like Delize on the finish only money line. That's the finish only money line, not by knockout or not by finish. Finish only money line minus 125. Fiziev on the Fiziev on the decision only money line, Usman decision only money line, and Joanne Wood, Luana Carolina to go the distance, and that is plus 275. That's all. That's everything I've got in for now. All right, so last time we did this, we did a little competition that you just wiped the floor with me on. I actually don't even remember what we bet on, but we took a favorite, an underdog, and a method of victory. I went 0 for 3. I was on Jalen Turner. I was on I think I was on the Cody Garbrandt under. I forget who my favorite was, but I completely whiffed. You were on.
I think I did 2. I think I did 2 of the 3, right?
Yeah, you got 2 or 3 right. I don't remember what they were. So I was thinking how maybe a better way to do this is kind of do the same thing, but do it all to basically to win $100 of Monopoly money, basically. So I think if you're good with just saying I'm down 300 right now and you're up 200, we can start that actually now and recording the odds and stuff. You are $200 in the black. I am $300 of Monopoly money in the red. Since you won last time, would you like to go first or second on your minus 300 or better favorite?
I'll let you go first, man.
I go first. So sure. I will,
because I feel like if I took one, then I feel like if I took a favorite, I feel like we'd be taking the same one. I have a feeling. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Usman at minus 250. So I think that what this means is basically I'm betting 250 Monopoly dollars, right? So to win $100 of Monopoly money on Kamaru Usman money line as my favorite.
All right, sick. I'm taking O'Neal.
You're taking O'Neal. Not bad. Okay. Yeah. That's not. Yeah. Okay.
That's what I thought you were going to take. So thanks. I'll take
not bad. Not bad at all. Maybe I should have done that, but hey, you're better than me at this anyway. But yeah, you're taking O'Neal.
So the next one's dog, right?
Yeah, you're taking O'Neal at minus 175. You go first on the dog pick then.
All right. So here, let me scroll through for the dog. Damn, man, these odds they flip.
I know.
Let's do all right. I'm just looking at all the odds. Which ones I like to take the shot at more?
I'm actually writing this down on the notebook. I'm not going to lose.
Let's go. I'll do Gabriel Santos.
Gabriel Santos.
Plus 155.
Santos plus 155. O'Neal minus 175. On Usman.
I know who you're. I have a feeling. I know exactly. You know what?
Usman minus 250.
I'm just gonna write down who I think you're taking.
I don't know.
I already got it written down in case.
You wrote down the leads, didn't you?
No, I thought you would take Gaethje.
Yeah, that's the two I'm between. I'm between Gaethje and I'm between leads. Yeah, give me Gaethje. You're right. Gaethje at plus
so you go method then.
I go method. Damn. I was actually gonna take O'Neal by decision. So wait, no, no. You took it already. Can't use that fight.
No,
again.
but you can't. I thought you can use it again if it's a different method. It's just we can't take the same one in the same category because you still got to nail the method. So you can take your decision. That's fine with me. It's a different category.
All right. I guess
O'Neal decision?
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take O'Neal decision, which is plus 110.
I'll take Nelson sub.
What's the odds?
Gunnar Nelson submission. Plus 110.
110. All right, so I'm on Usman money line minus 250. Gaethje money line plus 195 is my dog. O'Neal by decision plus 110 is my method. You are on O'Neal money line minus 175. You're on Santos money line plus 155. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. I can read my handwriting. And you're on Nelson by submission at plus 110. And we'll see what happens.
Sick.
Any closing thoughts? We've been talking for a while,
man.
so.
Yeah. No, I just got to finish this card up, get it out to the cord. And I'll have a lot of stuff live. I'm going to give out 3 free bets on Twitter shortly. So basically, it's 3 bets that I'm confident everyone on Twitter seems to parlay them all the time. They're 3 individual bets if you're watching, so they're 3 separate bets.
Yeah, I robbed the CVS. Since you're on that note, I robbed the CVS, and chat just says, "Yo, I'm gonna lay all those together. Fuck it on our 3 each." Hey, all the power to you,
People
bro.
do that all the time, man. People do that all the time. It's so funny, and I'll post on there. But then, like every now and then, you'll get where all 3 hit, and people are like, just like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." So
Yeah.
do you guys? But like I said, they're just individual bets for me.
We got one more question here before we get out of here. If we had to make a plus 100 parlay, who would you take? I'm guessing he's kind of talking about just like big favorite
Like
money lines. Yeah, yeah, big favorite money lines or like an SGP, I guess. I don't know. Maybe take a. I don't. I really like Casey O'Neill tonight, man. I really like Casey O'Neill.
So do I, man.
But I think you could take O'Neill and you can combine that with Jack Shore. That's still not. That's minus 114, so a little bit better than minus 400. Do you like Hadley a lot?
Yeah, I like Hadley a lot for this fight.
Yeah, so you could take Casey O'Neill money line, Jake Hadley money line. Yeah, that gets you to minus 106. That's not terrible. If you're looking at money lines, I don't know. Would you do something different there to get to plus 100? Maya? No, don't bet Jennifer Maya. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was the thrower? O'Neill. I mean, if you really want to get wild, you can throw in. I don't see Jack Shore losing this fight at all. So if you want to do the 3-leg and add Shore to that, it'd be plus 132. So it'd be Hadley, Shore, O'Neill.
Yeah, I like that. I might actually bet that. Yeah. I think I'm gonna bet that actually.
That's like one of the a little safer,
Yeah.
It sucks because you're adding of minus 500s and God forbid something like awkward happen. But
to go from minus 114 to 132. That's a decent jump. Yeah. I don't mind it. All right, man. It's been fun. I'm excited to watch the card. Thank you again to Gold Boys. Thank you again to Pickett Sports, Boom Fantasy. Sign up if you want every single one of Richie1up's plays for the card today, and basically, I mean, pretty much every MMA card ever. If I have anything else, I'll tweet it out for free. I tweet everything I play. And yeah, just let us know if you had any question. Appreciate you joining in. Any closing words here?
No, that's it, man. As soon as we get here, the work never ends, man. So I'll be right back on it. I mean, I'm officially basically in full UFC mode. We start in 2.5 hours.
Yep.
So the next hour, I'll have my card out to the Discord. Right after that, I'll have the free plays on Twitter. And obviously, for any new members or anybody watching that's new, just you'll have all my info on here, and just reach out to me on Twitter. We're really interactive. That's one thing that I really love about Gold Boys. Not just me. It's all those guys, Moose, Quan, Prop Father, all those guys, JD. I mean, they're beyond active. So we try to interact with everybody, even people that aren't our subscribers.
Hell yeah, man. I'm in. It's a great place to be. We'll talk to you for the next pay-per-view card. Appreciate everybody joining in. Let's go Kamaru Usman moneyline betting on mortgage. See you guys later.
Let's go.